Hello guys, so in this video we are going to learn about the second type of sequence, and that is we are going to learn about string. So we have already covered list, and so today in this video we are going to cover about strings. So if you can see what are strings are basically that data type in Python which are used for dealing with text. So whatever the text that you type, that thing is called as a string type. Okay. For example, if you can see, we are declaring a variable greet1, and we are giving this as a string of hello world. So this is a one way of creating a string. You can provide a string in single quotes itself. Okay, so you can see here single quotes to create a string. So this way you can create a string. You can also create a string using double quotes as well. So if you can see, we have used here double quotes to create a string hello world, and we are given a name as 2. You can, if you have multi-line string, like suppose like this string is created using triple quotes. So what you can say, suppose see you have a multi-line string, so what you can do is you can directly use triple quotes to create this triple line a multi-line string. Okay. So this is basically what string is. String is just a data type in Python that is used for dealing with text. These are the three ways by which we can create string, either single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. So this is all about strings. Okay, now see, I would like you to understand that if a string is given like this, suppose name is equals to a b c d e f, I would like you to visualize this as a list. Okay, so not the strings is not actually a list. I'm trying to say that just visualize it as a list, because most there are many similarities between list and string. What are the similarities? Let's see here we have all these characters. I have just put all those characters as single box as if a list. So you can see I am trying to say that consider it as a list of individual characters. Okay, so if you can see here, then D, then E, then F. So if you can see this name here, it is just a list of individual characters A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so that is what I'm saying, like this visualize as a list of characters, of individual characters. Okay, now let's see what are the similarities and what are the differences between lists. So let me go through the similarities first. So suppose I have declared a name variable with the value of a b c d e f. So name is a string with this particular value it has. Okay, so if you can see, it has the same concept of indexing as we have in list. The same concept goes here of the indexing. So if we do name of 0, we will get a, because this one is at 0th index, this one is at 1, this one is at 2, this at 3, e at 4, and f at 5th. So the indexing things works same here in case of string as it was in list. Okay, similarly the slicing concept that we have seen in list is also same as it is here in string. So if we do something like this, name 1 colon 5, so it will start with index 1 and will go up to 5 minus 1, that is 4. So it will print b c d e everything. Okay, see this whole thing. Now if we see, concatenation also works the same as in list. So there in the list we are concatenating two lists by using a plus operator. Similarly we can concatenate two strings using this plus operator. So we have here abc and df, and after concatenating this plus operator we are getting abcdef. Okay, similarly as it was working in case of repetition in strings, same it is here with in list, same it is here with strings also. So if we have a particular string and we are using this repetition operator, or you can say multiplication operator, so it just repeats this particular string as it was doing with list. Okay, now let's see some other similarities. Similarly we have the if statement as that we have same in list. So if there are some element present in the list, we can do that and print here, and same is the case for the for loop. Okay, let me show all of these examples that I have shown with code. Okay, so let's see here I have declared two variables, name, and I have declared variable temp. Just see that I have taken every character of this particular and created a list item here. Okay, so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. So similarly, let me show the similarities. So let's do something like this. Temp of 0. So this was list. Temp is a list and name is a string. So when we do temp of 0, we will get a. Same we have same functionality of indexing here with strings also. If you do name of 0, we get a. Similarly, if we could suppose I get temp of 5, so we'll get a, because if you can see this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 at grade. If we do name of 5, we'll get a. Okay, so this is indexing. Now we'll see slicing concept. So how slicing concept works is, suppose in the list what we are doing is we are doing temp. We are providing the a start value, suppose 1, then we are providing suppose the end value 4, and then this what it will do is will take value from 1 to 3. BCD will be printed. Okay, this is slicing. So if we do this, BCD will be printed. Similarly, if we do name and then slicing of 1 to 4, 1 to 4, BCD will be printed. So you can see that list and string both are of sequence type, and hence they behave similarly, not same, similarly, and we get the slicing concept is also same here. Okay, same as it was in list. If we don't provide the starting point and just provide the end point, we get everything from the starting. Okay, it was indentation error. Let me remove those. Yeah. So if you see here, we get A, B, C, D starting from the initial value. If we didn't provide anything here, what about the starting point, it will take from 0 index. Okay, so same we can do it with name 4, and you can see we have got A, B, C, D here. Okay, so that's it. So similarly, if we want to get the whole string, you can just provide like this. See, okay, let me show it with list first. As we are doing a list, if we do this, we don't provide. Okay, see, when we are providing strides in list, same we can provide with strings as well. See, we get the same result. We get a similar ACE and ACE. Okay, so this is with a slicing concept. Okay, if we do something like this, temp and colon colon colon, sorry, it must be only 2 times, so we'll get everything here. Similarly, if we do something like this, name colon colon, we will get everything here. Okay, so this is similarity between this. As we have concatenation, suppose I have 1 comma 2 in the list, and we do plus 3 comma 4, so what we will get 1 2 3 4. Similarly, if we have something like this, 1 comma 2 plus 3 4, these strings can also be concatenated. Okay? So this concatenation thing happened. And now the repetition part. Suppose I have 1 comma 2 in the list and I want to repeat it, suppose 3 times. So what we will get is repetition of 1 to 3 times, 1 2 1 2 and 1 2. Similarly, we have in strings also. Suppose I've written HA and I want to repeat it 3 times. So it will ha ha ha. So this is the repetition. This HA is repeated 3 times. So these are similarities that we have with list and string. There is one more similarity. Suppose what we have, if you see, we have name as ABCD and we have our list as ABCDEA. Similar. Okay, so we can do the same thing. If suppose we can search a particular element in the list itself, if we write them and then we'll write print present. See, is as it is working, like we can search in the temp list this particular value. Similarly, we can do it with strings as well. In name print present. Okay, you see, similarly we can perform the finding in name also. We can also do the same thing with the for loop. While doing for loop, we can either use indexing. Let me show you. len of temp, we are going to print temp of I. This is, we are accessing every element of the temp using indexes. Okay, so if we'll do this, see, we'll get A, B, C, D, E, every element of temp. Similarly, we can do it with, let me go to the next line. For I in range len of our string, which is name, and then what we can do is we can go inside and print every element, every character of name like this. It will give the same output. Okay, so similar, we can use for loop in list. Same, we have for loop in strings as well. There's one more concept is, in the for loop we can directly use the element by using like item in temp. So what this will do is it will directly take every element of temp itself. We need not to go through an index, it will directly pick up the element itself. So what we can do is we can directly go and print the item itself with end is equals to double quote. See, we got the same result. Similarly, we can access each character of the string name by using this syntax, which is same for both string as well as list. See, okay, so these are the examples that we have seen in the PPT. So everything I've shown you. Now, if these are the similarities, what are the differences between list and string? So let's see here. See, inside the string, what we had was we had individual characters, and this string is just the like what you can say, collection of each of individual characters. But in case of a list, it is a collection of any type of data. Okay, it can be a integer, it can be a float, or it can either be a whole string, or it can be a list. But string can only be a collection of these characters itself, nothing else. Okay, list are collection of objects like integer, float, etc., but string itself is an object made of multiple characters. Okay, now let's see. Sorry. So what are lists? Lists are mutable, but strings are immutable. So what does this mean is, suppose if we have this particular list 1 2 3 4 5, then you can directly replace this value at this particular index, that is 1, with the value of 10 like this. So if you perform like this, the new resultant list will be 1 10 3 4 5. But you can't do the same with the string. So if you have suppose this string with 0 index 1 2 3 4 5, and you want to change this particular index to suppose g, so we can't, so this will be in quotes. Okay, sorry, yeah, so you can't perform this will give an error. Okay, why? Because name, or you can say strings, are immutable in case of strings are immutable, so you can't change their value. Okay, if you let me show you in the screen. See, we have our name as string, we have our temp as list. If we want to do something like this, temp of 1 is b, now we do temp of 1 is equal to, suppose I want to put it as g, and now if we will print temp, you will see this particular value that was initially b was replaced by g. But if you see name of 1, it is still b, and if we try to change the value of num1 is equals to, suppose I want to put it as g, this will throw error because this str object does not support item assignment. That is, it is immutable and it is not allowing us to assign this value g to this particular index. So how we can do that is, here we will use a concept of the splitting that we have seen, and will perform our action. So just understand, let me show it from the code for on the PPT first. Yeah, see how we can perform this replace action. We can do something like this. If you can see this line, So what we are doing is, suppose we have this value a, b, c, d, e, f, and we want to replace this particular index, so that we get something like this: a, g, c, d, e, f. So what we are going to do is, we will take everything from this particular place, cut this part, we'll take cut this part, take everything from here and cut this part, and we'll join these two lists with g. So what will, suppose this is part 1, this is part 2, and what we'll do is, we'll use name and we'll assign is part 1 plus, then we'll do something like this: g plus part 2. So what we get, how we can get this part 1, you can get this part 1 by using the slicing technique. So what we'll do, we will take everything from there and we'll go up to that particular place. Suppose this is index 1, so we'll go up till index 1, and this index 1 won't be included, so just one less than that, so everything before that will be included. So we have here a from this part 1, and then what we'll do is, we will concatenate that with g. So now what we have got, ag. Now what we will take part 2. So part 2, what we will do is, we will do, suppose this is the first index and we want to take value from 2. So what we'll do is 2 colon and then close it, so that like take everything after 2 including and 2. Okay, so it will take after that c, d, e, f, and that we will add to this value that we have got here. So if you guys c, d, e, f, so you can see now we have got our value that we wanted, just like the list. So let me show it on code. If we'll do something like this, name is equals to, if we do name, then I want to replace the value at index 1 with g. So I'll do something like this, and then I want to take everything after the first index, so I'll do 2 colon. So if you do this, and now if you check what is name, you can see the second index is replaced. It was initially, it was b, now it is replaced with g, everything else is same. Okay, so this way we can replace this values, or what you can say, we can replace a particular index in string. Okay, so, and there are some pre-built methods that also come with strings. As you can see, this upper, lower, replace, count, index, alpha. So these things can be used. Let me show you example of this lower, and let me show you example of this count. Okay, so let's see here. We have name. So if we do name dot upper, it will print everything in uppercase. But since it is already in uppercase, it won't be affected. Let me do this with lower. So you can see everything has been moved to lowercase. We can do something like this: name dot count. Let's see if we have a inside the element. See, we have 2, but we have moved everything to lower, but we are searching for a. Then why are we getting 2? See, always remember that doing this method calls don't change the original string, but it returns a new string. Okay, so even if you have done this name dot lower, actually if you see the value of name, it will be again this a, g, c, d, e, a, because this name dot lower will lower the value, that is the name, and will return that particular value, but don't change the original one. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These methods don't change the original string since it is immutable, but returns a new string. So this way you can do count. Let me show you another example: name dot replace. So if you replace, suppose I want to replace this a with z, so you can do that. Just hit enter, and you can see every place where this a was there, every location which was replaced with z. Okay, so these are some of the methods you can just see, go through this, practice it, and you will come to know. So this is the warning that I have told you while showing earlier. These methods do not change the original string, but returns a new modified string, and the index method throw error if the value is not found. So what the index method does, index method returns the location of the first occurrence of anything. So suppose if I have this particular name, and if I want to get the index of a, so if I'll do name dot index of a, so what you can see, it is 0, it will give the first occurrence. But if we try to fetch something which is not there inside this string, and if we suppose m is not there, if you try to search for m, it will throw error because that substring is not found. That error it will. So let's keep that in mind. Okay. So that's it for string. This code that I have shown here, I will provide the file link in the description. You can just go and check it there. Okay. Thank you.